Morning. Got me thinking last night, because I looked at the weather and it's like going to get a little bit cold here. Tomorrow morning's meant to be proper chilly. So I've got to, obviously have the log burner going anyway to keep myself warm in the winter. As you notice, I'm in at the moment. We are 22.2 degrees inside my hut. It's a cold winter's day. But simple cooking for a simple man that's very cheap and very nutritious. Got all the bits and pieces of protein. Now I've got this idea, there's no clever thinking on my part because I don't do that so much. We can all go down and we can all go and buy the sweet treats and all this, that and the other, and they all cost money. And when you're living off grid and you've got to go quite a distance to get to the nearest shop, you have to think about that. And wouldn't it be nice to have, I don't know, sticky donut, fruit bar, muesli bar, oat bars, all those sorts of nice little sweet treats. They're good, aren't they? Tasty. And through watching YouTube, which is where the vast majority of my knowledge comes from, because it is my go-to media channel. Hence me sort of kind of doing what I'm doing now. This was all come about me trying to sort of help and support Liberation. And yes, my channel was tiny because I wasn't really fussed about it. It was more about, in a strange way, humouring and pacifying a young woman who I hold very dear and I look out for. She would often say, "Oh, you should do it. You have a story to tell." I don't have a story to tell. It's just my life, my way. Well, like I said in the last video, every day's a school day. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, this old dog has learned a new trick and been taught by a youngster that apparently I do have a story to tell. Yes, a little bit bewildered, very overwhelmed by it, but it is a nice one, and I thought I'd do it in real time to try and show people that even though people do struggle with time in the modern world, and I fully understand that, I'm fortunate that I have time, but things don't always necessarily need to take a lot of time. What I'm going to do today is cook up a cookie type thing. I wouldn't really know what to bloody call it, to be honest with you. I saw this on a YouTube channel as a Scottish fella who does medieval stuff and modern stuff, and it's all kind of survival. I can't think of his channel off the top of my head. I just stumbled across it, saw it, thought, oh, nice idea, give it a go myself. And he referred back to way back, many years, of how the settlers traversed the likes of America, and that how did they survive, what foods did they eat, what kept them alive, and he come up with his little take of basically what it was, which was like an oat cookie type thing, and the fact that how nutritious it is, the shelf life on it is fantastic, etc, etc. I'll try and explain that as I go, but here we go. I mean, you will see, and I've been talking, the clock's ticking, blah 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 blah. Let's try and do it. I might make a lot of mistakes because I'm trying to talk to you at the same time. So first of all, get yourself a bowl, and I think just to be on the safe side, I'll get the bigger bowl, which is up here, just to be on the safe side. Right, the key ingredients are: get a cup and then dig out some oats, just normal rolled oats, no porridge oats, cooking oats. I mean, people give them all different names or whatever, but it's just good old-fashioned oats, cheap as chips. Seriously, in the supermarkets they are seriously cheap, and I've almost run out of that one, so right back into the cupboard here. Let's go find some oats. Oh, I'm going to need that. That's some flour. I'll have some of that in a minute. So I need a bag of oats. I mean, there you go, just a bag of oats. Yes, they're shop bought. relatively unprocessed. I mean, even these are slightly processed, but they're good for you. They're not bad for you in any way. And then what we do, let me just try and work this at the same time, is we're going to have 2 cups of these, 2 cups of oats. It's all rough measure stuff. There's no great measures. I mean, this is just the basic thing. And before I go there, I'm doing all this extra work. It's just to give you an idea of how quick a good, tasty treat can be made and save you a fortune on potentially not buying your things like your Krispy Kreme donuts, your Dunkin' Donuts, and all these oat bars. And if you read the menu on the back of one of them oat bars, they're not always that good for you. But each to their own, and you know, I'm not here to judge anybody for anything. But you've got that. So we then go for me putting flour all over the place. Just any old flour, and this happens to be self-raising flour. You know, I know in America, you know, they have different names for different things. I get it, but it's like this is pretty much as any flour, self-raising, plain, it doesn't really matter. Right, and we get 1 cup of flour. Right, 1 cup of flour. There we go. Right, now what I'm going to do is just wipe that out quickly. Just get a bit of flour in there. Then we're going to get what is technically the magic ingredient. Well, it'll bind it all this, that and the other. And this is, I mean, suet, beef suet. Yes, there is a vegetarian version, and I imagine there's something for the vegans in the world or whatever. Well, I'm not any of them. So this is what works for me. So just get hold of that, and then we get just over 1/2 cup, which is about 1/2 packet. And just over 1/2. I'll tell you what, I'll actually use the whole packet on this one. It's going to be a little bit larger than before. Again, I don't really measure things. It's all suck and see. Right, in the meantime, this is going to sit on top of the log burner, so it melts it down. So I must remember to use the tea towel one night. I'll get that up because I'll burn my hands otherwise. Right, and pretty much the guy that I saw on YouTube, which gave me the idea, that's it. That's about where he goes. Once that's melted, that goes in. You have hot water, put that in, mix it up, make a dough, a paste, roll it into cookies. No, I like to go just a little bit further. I will add from my good food shelf, because it makes bad food taste good. I'm going to put in, this is winter, some ground nutmeg. What else have we got? We've got all sorts up here. Let's have a quick look. I know what I'm looking for. I can't see it off the top of my head, but it'll be here somewhere. Ground allspice. Let's have some of that in there. Oh, it's not coming out fast enough. Again, a little bit of trial and error, that's all. I know, you can see it. I'm not exactly measuring it out in lovely little spoons and things like this. Talking about spoons, let's get a spoon. And gonna mix that in. Give it a little bit of extra flavour. And then, I don't know, it's not very sweet at the moment. This is my choice today, but I'll tell you what, I know what I do. And it is pretty much, I mean, this is all just off the top of my head as I'm thinking about it. I just concocted this from a basic style cocoa powder. Whack some cocoa powder in there. It's about that. That'll give it a sufficient chocolatey taste. And with that, just to give it a little bit of extra sweetness, I'll have another spoon. Some soft brown sugar. That should sweeten it up pretty nice. I've done this a few times now, so kind of, yeah, it is all guesswork. And then, I mentioned it's winter time, isn't it? So what I've got is a small amount, not too many, but that's mixed fruit. Oh, I know what I can put in with the mixed fruit. Dried cranberries. I'll put some dried cranberries in there as well. Yeah. Oh, look at it. Put them all in there. Make it worth its while. Right, and then what we're going to do, we've got that. Give the dry mix a good mix. As you can see, it's, well, you can't see it, but it looks like bleached bird food at the moment. But trust me, it won't taste like that. I'm just blending all the, in essence, the dry ingredients together to get them reasonably well mixed up. And then what we do, yeah, that's pretty close, right? So we need to wait. It's going to be chilly tomorrow, isn't it? And it's going to be proper cold, which is like winter warming stuff. Got a plan. Little bit of rum, winter warmer. Soak a bit of that into there. Oh, steady. Oh, that's my lazy Kevin's just come down to get in the background. Start with my dogs, bless them. But in the meantime, while I'm here, I'm just checking on the suet, which is quite happily doing its thing. It's slowly melting down, and then all I'm doing is mix all the fruit up into the rum. Let it soak it up a little bit. Add a little bit of a pizzazz to it, you know. Again, this is no Rick Stein stuff. This is no Jamie Oliver stuff. And if you noticed, I'm not swearing, so it's definitely not Gordon Ramsay. So, reasonably well done now. So I'm now briefly having to wait, but that's not a problem. In the meantime, I have got my kettle, which is always on, the log burner keeping warm anyway, for the hot water element of it. But we've got that bit there. Make a little bit of a bowl in there. I'll add that when I add the suet. And the suet, I think, is almost done. And for the purposes of this video, I will cheat just slightly by using a little bit of gas, because I need to try and melt that down just a little bit quicker. The thing behind the gas though, I mean, that one surprises me. I'd have thought it's a 47 kilo bottle, and so far that bottle has lasted me coming up for nearly 14 months, which is very effective and very efficient. But where's my little spoon? So we're just making sure now it's nearly there. Another 30 seconds or so. I'm going to get my kettle, which has got the hot water in. I don't have this multi-camera thing, and I'm cut and shut as explained. I don't know how to. Now I'm going to try and learn a little bit, but with all the feedback that I've been getting from you guys, you've humbled me, you've made me realise that I don't need to go to all that faff when it's not really me. And thank you, because you're all sort of seeing me as me is what you want to see. So this is what you get. So But right, get my spoon, and now it's all but melted down. Another few seconds. It's just one of these things that when I found it, I find cooking kind of boring. Sometimes I enjoy it as fellow single people, I would say. Cooking for one, about as dull as dishwater, isn't it? Right, so now that we've got the suet melted down, we pour the suet in. I'm going to use the cup with the hot water from the kettle to add to it. Oh, it's definitely warm there. It's definitely warm. So what I'm going to do now is, that's soaked, not a lot, but whatever else is going to go in there. Just chuck it all in there. Right, in the washing up pile, and then just give this a stir. My suggestion is slowly at first, otherwise, well, the dogs would rather say, could I do it faster, because it'll all come out the bowl, and they are nature's hoover. But I'll just sit there and just gently turning it all in, and here we go. It's starting to come together a little bit. I'll end up getting my hands in there, but for the moment, and I know I can see that that's not going to be enough, hence, yeah, I forgot that one's, at this age I shouldn't forget it, but I do. Joys of not being 21. And a little bit of water in there, and if I put more in, I can put more in. And basically all I'm doing is making this into a form of dough, and now it's starting to resemble fat balls that you put out for the birds, and I'm almost there, and here we go. The last bit of it's turning in quite nice. I think I might need a little drop more, just a little drop more. I don't know. This is where the hands come into it. Yes, they are clean before anybody suggests it, but then you've got to consider a little bit of dirt in the system is good. You've heard of the old saying, an army marches on its stomach. Be it right or be it wrong, I firmly believe that we should have an element of dirt going in with our diet, because we have an army within our stomachs and our bodies, the antibodies. If we don't feed them when they need to go to work, they don't know what to do. That's my philosophy anyway. But here we go. Right, this is pretty much the last little bit. It's always a bit of a pain, it's the stuff at the bottom, right? But I'm pretty much happy now with the consistency. It's all about the consistency. I just knead that through, a bit like you're kneading some yeast, bread dough. So I've got whatever I've put in here, to be honest with you. Even I'll probably have to look back at this one to try and repeat what I've put into it. Every time it's always a bit different. It's whatever I fancy, really. But I've now got to the point. Here we go, that's it. All done. One big ball. Which that basically looks like a fat ball. Not very good, is it? But that'll do it. So all I'm going to do now, put that to one side briefly. Let's get a very small handful of oats. I'll probably want a few more in a minute, so I'll leave them out for a minute. Instead of using flour, I'm using oats, like a good sort of rolling out thing. But no, all I'm doing, that's good enough there. And then just pick off a lump. Small handful size lump. Mould it a little bit. Push it down a little bit so that it's about 3/4 of an inch, something like that. There you go, looks a bit like that. So I'm just going to put that on the plate and I shall repeat. And just do these just like this. It really is this simple. Normally I get about 6, 7, depends on how heavy or light-handed I've been at adding ingredients, etc., and what I've added to it. Right, there's 3. Another one sometimes is which is a very good natural sweetener, and it's got a very good, well, infinite shelf life. There's honey. Sometimes I put a bit of honey in them as well. They just keep knocking them out like this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing well. Might make 7 out of this one. Just a few more oats. And we just pat them out. There we go. You can see what I'm doing. I'm no bloody chef. And what we do, stack that one. And then we've got, yeah, we'll make just about 2 slightly smaller ones. And in that one, and what's gone in this, I mean, there is no preservatives as such, you know. Yes, there's dried cranberries, you know, they're very good for you, so it's not a problem. And then and the mixed fruit, I mean, no, I'm not going into how that gets processed and gets into the bag and gets to us. But it's as sort of natural as you can get it, you know. And there we go. Right, now that I've done that, there we go, give it a bit of a pat, that, put that up on there. Right, first things first, clean the board off quickly, clean the top off quickly. Living in a small space, I have to be clean and tidy, otherwise it really looks a mess in very short thrift. So that's done that bit, right? No, see, need just a couple more oats. Then all I do, get my double grill pan. These things, this one's an NGT one. A lot of people talk about different ones and that, but I found this one to be the best for my needs. It works a treat. I use it for, it's my go-to cooking implement, to be honest with you. Just the reason I'm putting a little dusting of oats on here is to stop any potential stickiness. That's all, nothing more, nothing fancy to it. And then all we do, get said cakes, and we put them, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, I have to do it in kind of 2 shifts, I think. In actual fact, no, so I'm gonna be good here, 2 seconds. My version of a Dutch oven. Right, so I've got these on the double grill. I bought this pot, it was going to come out of Aldi's. It was like, apparently, it's labelled as a stock pot. Oh, that's a strange name for a Dutch oven. Brilliant for my uses. About £15 it was. and then just a few, I don't have to with this one because it won't stick. And I'm going to put the other 3 in there, put the lid on, put that onto the washing up pile, which goes down there. Not used that, so that can go back up there. Come on. Grab a calamity or two, and it makes life interesting. And there, that in the washing up pile. I've now made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I generally have 1 a day. That's a week's worth. According to the guide I followed on YouTube, that is a complete nutritious meal based on humans having 3 meals a day. Or, like me, I have it as a snack. So I'm now going to put that on the log burner. Make a little bit of white bit of room for it on the log burner. Been warming up the water so I can do the washing up, and there we go. Now, in true Blue Peter fashion, for those that are old enough and understand, which always involves some sticky back plastic and all that, and they make something. Here's one I prepared earlier. This is the last one of the batch I made before. And this, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks old, perfectly healthy and edible. There we go. Which I'm going to eat that in a minute. You can, if you just cook it, so I mean, it's about 5 minutes on either side. And you can then, perhaps, I don't know, if you don't want to use an oven, you can use an oven. I mean, crust, use a fire pit, put it in a sealed thing on a fire pit, you know, so you're not using utilities. You know, you can cook it in so many different ways. But then if you basically cook it, and then on a very low heat, it's a form of dehydrating it, so it takes any moisture out of that. I like it with a little bit of moisture, so it's got a shelf life of a month or 2, no problem. But if you want it to last longer, you turn it more into a biscuit, which and that, and you can obviously, if you wanted to dunk it, whatever. But each to their own, and that is a very quick and easy. Without trying to explain it and talking to you about it, it has taken me a little bit longer than perhaps I thought it would. If I'm just concentrating, I can get it done a lot quicker. But in another 10 minutes, I will have 7 nutritious, healthy snacks, meal replacements, whichever you want to call it. Just another little way that you can save money and give your body some good food. That's my view on it. Let me know what you think. I mean, we all have different ideas. I'm learning every day, and I look forward to learning from you guys, as I have been. Hence me saying I'm going to stick with doing raw videos, not try and do this fancy cutting and shutting and stuff over the top, because you're not wanting to see that. So listening to you guys is what is giving me inspiration, and giving me guidance as to what you would like to see. And I will endeavour at all times to show, explain as and where I can. So yeah, please give me ideas, feed me a little bit, and hopefully you helping me, I can help you, and we can help each other. At the end of the day, the world needs more of that, helping each other. Anyway, hope you're all keeping warm. I definitely am. I'm even hot now because of doing that work. And at 22 degrees in winter in my hut, that's a happy man. Thank you for watching. Hope that wasn't too boring. I have no idea what it's going to turn out like, but it's just me doing my life my way, trying to be self-reliant as best I possibly can. Hope it helps you. Thank you very much for watching. You take care. We'll see you soon.